Well done. I would like to call this meeting to order and acknowledge that tonight's meeting is being held on the traditional territory of the Sanemo people. Aitsquel, Anthapak Carrie McVeigh. Welcome, and my name is Carrie McVeigh. Hopefully I said that correctly. I'd like to introduce Mr. Jerry Brown, an elder with Sanemo, and you're going to provide us with a traditional welcome.
I hope you're watching me put my glasses on. Because my mom said, you can't trust a white man anymore. She told me to eat a lot of carrots and I'm losing my eyesight. Also yemen sulchwen na siya na elish walakwa. Haitsep ka koti ala patana kwel. Ay yatel sa ititsa watel. Haitskatus nanemuch mastimuch iti itamuch iti ilelem. Like to welcome the elders, special welcome to the elders, are my dear friends. I'd like to really give you thanks for allowing us to be here and inviting Joni and I to be here. Thank each and every one of you for your busy schedule, for making it here on this beautiful evening. Swearing in is I don't know, it's there's no word to describe it because our goal and objective is good education. Everybody gets an education, and getting good people to give all the children, parents, a better communication, so that we all can live together as a family, for making sure our children's going to be able to stand on their own 2 feet in the future. They are going to be our future. So our responsibility is gigantic. Always take care of each other and always help one another. That's the Hulkaminum term for congratulations to everybody here. So we're going to we're getting into my second sheet. Joni just whipped off my first sheet. I had a nice sheet and she said it was too long. So I'm down to 2. So we're going to have to stand, please. Trustees, board members, illustrious faculty, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, newly elected and continuing members, we pray for best wishes and congratulations for your continued success as each of you accept and honor your new challenges. I wish that each of you meet your life's challenges head on and use your skills you have learned from your parents, from your grandparents, from your friends, from all your relatives. Always put forth your best effort. Have faith in your own ability. Never sell yourself short, and trust your own judgment. Never stop learning, never stop trying, never lose your optimism, and always strive for excellence. Be with and honored by the invitation. Thank Ted for asking me to come here. I wish each of you a lot of success, happiness, and prosperity. I wish each of you that you're blessed with skill, knowledge, and ability in your jobs. I'd like to apologize too because I got to drive Joni to her meeting now. So congratulations. Thank you all. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you again, Elder Brown. That was lovely. Right now, I would like to introduce for you our trustee-elects, starting with my far right. Tanya Brozovic. Elaine Wilkinson has been delayed as a result of an accident, so hopefully, not that she was in one, but delayed as a result, so hopefully she will be with us soon. Lisa Marie Barron, Stephanie Higginson, Jessica Stanley, I know, having a moment, Charlene McKay, Greg Keller, Bill Robinson, and Chantel O'Neill. I'd also like to introduce our staff, our Superintendent and CEO, Scott Saywell, Tim Davey, our Deputy Superintendent for the Department of Learning Services, Dale Burgos, our Executive Director of Communications, Privacy, and Community Engagement, Karen Matthews, Senior Executive Assistant to the Superintendent, Secretary, Treasurer, and Board of Education, Bob Esliger, Assistant Superintendent, Student Services, Diversity, and Equity, Laura Tate, Assistant Superintendent, Learning Services, Elementary, Robin Gray, Assistant Superintendent, Learning Services, Secondary, Lisa Robinson, District Principal, Learning Services, Andy Canty, our Director of Information Technology, Jetta Holmes, our Director of Finance, and Ted Cadwallader, District Principal of Aboriginal Education. Tonight we are conducting two agenda items. We are doing the trustee oath of office, and we are doing the trustee elected positions. The oath of office is significant in that it allows each trustee-elect to officially hold a position on the corporate board. It also instills public confidence in the board, as each trustee-elect must swear or affirm that she has not contravened the School Act, will comply with the School Act, and to promise to faithfully fulfill their duties as trustees and as a collective corporate board. The oath of office is pursuant to Section 51 of the School Act, which states that a person elected or appointed to office must make a prescribed oath of office within 45 days after the declaration of election of appointment. The trustee code of conduct will also be signed by each trustee following taking their oath. This document can be found in the board's governance policy, Section 1, 2.3, and it sets out the behavior that each trustee agrees to be bound by and states that each trustee will adhere to the highest ethical standards in their dealings with fellow trustees, the school community, and all citizens of the district. I will now ask that trustee-elects stand with me so that I may administer the oath of office. I'm also going to ask that the public refrain from any applause or cheers until the board has been sworn in and the signing of the oath of office and the code of conduct has been administered. So I'm going to ask you to each read individually the first line in your oath of office, and I'm going to start with Tanya, and we'll just do that one by one, and then collectively we're going to finish the oath.
I, Tanya Burzwich, do swear that
I, Lisa Marie Barron, do solemnly affirm that
I, Stephanie Higginson, do solemnly affirm that
I, Jessica Stanley, do solemnly affirm
I, Charlene McKay, do solemnly affirm that
I, Greg Keller, do solemnly affirm that.
I, Bill Robinson, do solemnly affirm that.
I, Chantel O'Neill, do solemnly affirm that.
Thank you. Okay, on my count of three, we're going to finish the oath. 1, 2, 3.
I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Nanaimo Ladysmith Public School District and meet the trustee qualification requirements set out in the School Act. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the School Act, representing vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses in relation to my election as a trustee. I will abide by the School Act, and I will faithfully perform my duties of my office, and I will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. I will comply with the requirements of the School Act that relate to conflict of interest, and in particular, I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interests in the matter.
Aishka, thank you. I'm now going to start again with Tanya and witness your signature to your oath and to your trustee code of conduct.
Thank you. Just doing 2 copies of each one. Thank you.
Does it matter what we do first?
The oath. Mine's thirsty, and I'm trying to tell him there's drinks so I can get a drink right out the door.
But her hair's always different when it comes here. Yes, and short hair and not short person. Anyway, just get it done. Former trustee? I think so. Some people are interested. Also South Wellington, maybe, because Jessica's from South Wellington.
Take one.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Of each one?
Yes. Here's the
Slow down this all nicely.
I think we all had two.
Take one of each here.
kind of much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Carrie.
I'll take one of each, please. Now, hopefully you have a good upon it. One of those as
What is our principal association called? Nanaimo Administrators. Nanaimo Association of School Administrators and Center. Nanaimo School Administrators Association. There we go. I have to think about the
Amazing.
acronym. No.
Tony has another daughter who's
She's over.
Thank you for witnessing that very important moment. We are going to take a few moments to see if Elaine will arrive. It's our understanding she's on our way. So if we could just pause, take a 5-minute break. If anybody would like coffee, there's some in the back, and then we'll resume the meeting. Thank you for your patience. to have Elaine Wilkinson swear in her oath. Raise your right hand, and on the Bible.
So I raise it or put it?
Yeah, raise your right hand.
Left hand on the Bible.
Okay.
And then try
Then I need to
to
read.
You've got it.
I, Elaine Wilkinson,
I, Elaine Wilkinson, do swear that I am qualified to hold office as a trustee in the Nanaimo Ladysmith Public School District and meet the trustee qualifications requirements set out in the School Act. I have not, by myself or any other person, knowingly contravened the School Act respecting vote buying, intimidation, or other election offenses in relation to my election as a trustee. I will abide by the School Act, and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office, and will not allow any private interest to influence my conduct in public matters. I will comply with the requirements of the School Act that relate to conflict of interest, and in particular, I will comply with the requirements relating to disclosure of pecuniary and indirect pecuniary interest in a matter.
you are sworn in.
I should have my name tag on.
I don't have mine. You got one in front of you. How many do we need?
It's one of the moving.
So congratulations to the new board. Boards of Education are elected to improve student achievement. They do this by engaging with their communities in building and maintaining a school system that reflects local priorities, values, and expectations. School trustees listen to their communities, guide the work of their school district, setting a plan, policy, and the annual budget. And they report back to the public on how our students are doing. Thank you for taking on this role for the next 4 years. Let's give our new board a welcoming round of applause. The next item on our agenda is the election of chairperson, so we will now move on to that. I'd like to call for nominations for the position of chairperson of the board.
I would like to nominate Charlene McKay for chairperson of the board.
I will make another call for nominations for the position of chairperson of the board for a second time. I will call for a third time. Are there any nominations for the position of chairperson of the board? Being no further nominations for the position of chairperson of the board, nominations are closed, and Trustee McKay will be declared chairperson of the board by acclamation. I will now hand the rest of the meeting over to Charlene McKay, our new board chair.
Thank you. I now call for nominations for the position of vice chairperson of the board. I call for nominations for the position. Oh, well, you guys go ahead.
I, Chantal O'Neill, nominate Lisa Marie Barron.
I call for nominations for the position of the Vice Chairperson of the Board for a second time. I call for nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Board for a third time. Get the hang of it. Being no further nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Board, nominations are closed. And Trustee Lisa Marie Barron will be declared Vice Chairperson of the Board by acclamation. Our next piece of business is election of the Business Committee Chairperson. I now call for nominations for the position of Chairperson of the Business Committee.
I'd like to nominate Tanya Brozovich.
Thank you. I call for nominations for the Chairperson of the Business Committee for a second time. I call for nominations for the Chairperson of the Business Committee for a third time. Being no further nominations for the position of Chairperson of the Business Committee, nominations are closed, and Trustee Tanya Brozovich will be declared the Chairperson of the Business Committee by acclamation. We'll now conduct the nominations for Business Committee Vice Chairperson. I now call for nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Business Committee. Chantal.
I'll nominate Greg Keller.
Thank you. I now call for nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Business Committee for a second time. I now call for nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Business Committee for a third time. Being no further nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Business Committee, nominations are closed. And Trustee Greg Keller is elected as our Vice Chairperson of the Business Committee. All right, moving right along. You guys are getting good at this. Election of the Education Committee Chairperson.
I'd like to nominate Trustee Stanley.
Thank you. I call for nominations for the position of Chairperson of the Education Committee for a second time. I call for nominations for the position of Chairperson of the Education Committee for a third time. Being no further nominations for the position of Chairperson of the Education Committee, nominations are closed, and Trustee Jessica Stanley will be declared the Chairperson of the Education Committee by acclamation. Next is election of the Education Committee Vice Chairperson. I now call for nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Education Committee.
I nominate Elaine Wilkinson.
I call for nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Education Committee for a second time. I call for nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Education Committee for a third time. Being no further nominations for the position of Vice Chairperson of the Education Committee, nominations are closed, and Trustee Elaine Wilkinson will be declared the Vice Chairperson of the Education Committee by acclamation. Our next order of business is the election of the BCSTA Provincial Councillor. I now call for nominations for the position of BCSTA Provincial Councillor.
I'd like to nominate Trustee Stanley for Provincial Councillor.
Thank you. I call for nominations for the position of BCSTA Provincial Councillor for a second time. I call for nominations for the position of BCSTA Provincial Councillor for a third time. Being no further nominations for the position of BCSTA Provincial Councillor, nominations are closed, and Trustee Jessica Stanley will be declared BCSTA Provincial Councillor by acclamation. Election of the BCSTA Provincial Councillor Alternate. I now call for nominations for the position of BCSTA Provincial Councillor Alternate.
I nominate trustee Lisa Marie Barron.
I call for nominations for the position of BCSTA Provincial Councillor Alternate for a second time. I call for nominations for the position of BCSTA Provincial Councillor Alternate for a third time. Being no further nominations for the position of BCSTA Provincial Councillor Alternate, nominations are closed and Trustee Lisa Marie Barron will be declared BCSTA Provincial Councillor Alternate by acclamation. I'll now ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you. We're adjourned?
You need a
Oh,
second.
and Stephanie, thank you. Now we're adjourned.